from, getting feedback and stuff, but I'll have to admit, it was not fun to get some of the feedback on the iPhone app, because we charged a premium for it at $10, well, $9.99. Apple requires you to end your price with 99 cents, by the way. So we charged a premium for it because I have a vision of where the app is going to be. But so I sold it at the price of what my vision will be down the road when it has much more functionality to it. But we sold with basically what we saw as the core feature that people need, which was fast transaction on the go, be able to view their budget balances. People cried foul and they just said, this is lame, I'm disappointed. And it kind of hurt because we don't want to do subpar stuff. But I also didn't want to ship 8 months later. That would have, we already were in development for 8 months. I didn't want to add another 8 months to the deal, or a year, or whatever it would have been. We wanted to ship and get it in people's hands as fast as we could. And we wanted to test to see if the iPhone was even a viable option for us at all. I did not want to throw a year and a half into something before I even found out, oh, you know what? That was a waste of time because it just didn't work. That's maybe what would have happened. Luckily, we found the opposite was true, and it was very well received. And we have a lot more people that like the app than were disappointed, but you still don't like hearing that. And they were saying, well, I'm disappointed I can't, or the workflow isn't quite as smooth as it could be, and that was true. The syncing is kind of kludgy. It's improved, but not quite there yet. When we upgrade to Air 2, it will be much improved. And then they're saying it doesn't do split transactions. That was true. It didn't do splits. So we had all of these issues, all these features that we just basically pushed off and said, we're going to ship first, and we'll build this out over time. Everyone will get the free upgrades, and eventually all those low reviews, hopefully they'll change them, and they'll be singing our praises. But it was tough to do. But I'm saying that's a better way to do it. It's lower risk, and you ship faster. You learn much more quickly. If you can at all, avoid partners. Just get going on your own. For some reason, people like to, in this plain business, they like to take on a partner because it feels more official. It feels like somehow more legit. So really, really, really only take on a partner if there is a legitimate business reason for it. Friends is not legitimate. Absolutely not. If they have money and you have none, that is almost not a reason. You really need to think how you could do things with very little money or just your own money. Giving away equity, ownership in your small business is the most expensive way to compensate. So you'd only do that if you are convinced that's the right person, you absolutely need them on board, and you need to compensate them that way. But be just absolutely wary of partnering just to play business. Any type of revenue shares you have to do or you want to do, expire those if you can. Just set an expiration. It keeps things simple. You don't want to be 2 years down the road compensating someone for work they did way back when. It gets really messy when you're saying, well, you did this work here, but now I'm doing all this marketing work here, and I feel like I'm carrying all the burden, but you're just kind of riding this wave. So just in agreements, just expire revenue shares. It makes your life simpler. It's great. It works. It's low risk. Both people get a lot of upside potential, but when you expire it, you can basically say, okay, well, at that time it's done. And it's really easy to value compensation when there's an expiration. When there's no expiration, that's an annuity, and that can go on forever. So expire any type of revenue share if you can, and you should just fight for that. Just give them a bigger chunk or whatever, but make sure it expires to get that. And then one last thing for the longest Whiteboard Wednesday in the history of Earth. All of this has to do a little bit with bookkeeping, but anything that's kind of an overhead process that's just supporting your business, make sure that you organize and optimize later. Make sure that you're not optimizing for customers that you don't have, or organizing things, organizing invoices, organizing workflow, organizing or optimizing a process where the process you only do it once a month because you only have one customer. The person that sits there and optimizes their workflow for 3 clients where they're doing something 3 times a month, that's just ridiculous. They're just wasting time. When it starts to get painful, when the process starts to get to where it's a burden, where it's hindering your ability to spend time generating revenue, sales or services, whatever it is, that's when you can say, okay, let's take a step back, let's adjust, let's organize, and optimize. But people too quickly want to see, this is kind of a Stephen R. Covey thing, they want to see the end from the beginning with their business, when in reality, you're just testing something. And if you think about it from the perspective of a scientist, when they go in and say, well, I think this is true, they don't want to know that, well, eventually what we're going to find out when we feel like there are maybe molecules, that they didn't want to also be like, oh, you know what, there are also these, I don't even know chemistry very well, protons and neutrons, and then, oh, there's, what are those things that are even smaller than that? Quarks, I think? Anyway, these things that are even smaller. So that was a horrible example, but my point is, you just define your test, define your service, define that offering or product, and you find out as quickly as you can. And the way to know if your hypothesis is true is if someone pays you. So find out quickly if someone pays you. And that's just the best way to go about it. You waste very little time. You learn a whole lot very quickly. You refine your offering, you define your target market, and you figure out how you can best speak to them. Your sales go up, and then you grow. But it's just this, just get started doing the important, hard things, and don't worry so much about all the other supporting cast members in this play. Anyway, that was kind of my story, along with a whole slew of Jesse advice. Take that, with a grain of salt. But I'm going to be working on this small business initiative, and this will be pretty exciting for us. I'm working through applications for it, and I'm going to pick 6, and I'll work with them one-on-one to get their small business adopting the YNAB way. And I think the vast majority of small businesses can benefit in a huge way by using YNAB. We'll be talking more about that later as this course that I'm developing kind of starts to come together. I'll try and ship it with the minimum offering possible. It'll be a free course, but I just want to kind of gear it more toward you small business owners that want some help with an extremely important part of your business, and that is the books. If I were to look at your books, I'd be able to see a whole story of your business, and so I want to be able to teach you to kind of see that and make decisions based on that. But I guess that's it for the Whiteboard Wednesday. This is going to be broken into chunks, obviously, because it is way too long, but I hope you enjoyed it, got a couple insights if you're a small business owner, or if you're thinking of starting a small business. Hopefully one little bit of something I said will help. Have a great day, guys, and we will talk to you later.